How fabulous to have you back on my channel. Hope you're all well today. February 2021 in Queensland, Australia, and it looks like we're going to get some rain today. You know, that is an absolute welcome sight for me. We do have some water tanks and I collect as much of the rain as I can. The garden is large and I like to use that during our dry time. This time of the year, with the heat that we've had and the fact that we're well past spring, a lot of the plants that flowered through spring are starting to just die back. Their leaves are falling off and it's time to do a little bit of maintenance, and this is the time for me to actually separate some of the things that have grown through the springtime and into summer, and that includes bulbs. And what you see in front of me here is something that I grow really easily in a subtropical climate, and that's a Hippeastrum. These ones here in front of this rose garden are actually red, and they're going to stay there for another year or so until they really start to clump, because what happens is over time they form massive clumps, and then what you do is you dig them out and you can either pot them or give them to people or put them into other parts of the garden, which is what I love to do. So what I'm going to be doing is taking some huge clumps of the orange Hippeastrums out, and they're like fabulous big trumpets. They're gorgeous plants. You get a real show of them for 3 and 4 and 5 weeks in the spring. They're just amazing, and they look beautiful in big masses when you grow them in mass. So I'm taking some out from another garden. They're the big orange ones, like I said, and I'll show you how I separate them and pot them from there. This is one of the clumps that we dug out of the ground, and as you can see, they're quite shallow rooted, so it didn't take much to actually dig down and get them out. As long as there's any kind of root system on any of those bulbs, they will grow again. I started with about 10 individual bulbs 2 years ago, and each clump now has at least 5, 6. This one in front of me actually has 9 individual bulbs now on it, so I just pull them apart. This is the orange variety of Hippeastrum. When you plant these in mass and they all flower, the show is spectacular. So some of these I'm going to be potting and putting to one side, maybe giving to friends. I'm also going to put some more in another garden that I have in mass. So I'm going to plant about 15 altogether in mass and have one big show when springtime comes. In total of the 6 clumps that we took out, this large one here, which has got 9 on it, I've decided I'm going to plant that as it is because they look beautiful in a mass. So I want to grow that one as it is, but in another place. But here, the other groups of bulbs that I've got, there are 38 of them from the clumps that we took out. So Hippeastrums, easy to grow. Love the dry weather. Obviously, like anything, they'll do better if you give them a drink, but they don't need a drink. In my climate, they've done this well without water. And look at them. They look like ginormous onions, don't they? So look at the root system on that. Once I get that into a pot, it's going to absolutely just take off. They do enjoy this tropical weather. Bulbs do fabulously in my subtropical climate. So find some Hippeastrums. Ask somebody if you see them with them. All you need is one to start. It will multiply over time. And in a couple of years, you'll be like me. You'll have lots of them to put in lots of places in your garden. Not all of them went into pots. I took a clump that had 9 bulbs on the bottom of it and put it into this new garden that I'm starting here now. Left it in a clump, like I say. That's when they look fabulous. The remainder of the bulbs that I potted are here in my shade house, and I ended up with 30 in total. All I've done is just taken off the leaves that were looking a bit burnt and gave the plant an opportunity to use all its energy to come forward with nice new leaves. So there's 30 Hippeastrum bulbs in pots in my shade house. This is an amazing plant. Like I say, bulbs do so well in this climate. So if you want to try something, try Hippeastrums. Give them 2 or 3 years, they'll multiply. You'll have them all through your garden. And like I say, in the spring, they make a fabulous show. You have a wonderful day today.